You're sick is what and you're still doing the show here, and I'm a little drippy myself because the weather's horrible, and it's probably horrible in a good part of where people are listening to us, at least in the United States of America. And since I was in the United Kingdom this time of year just a few years ago, hello, Alex Shane, the Invisible Man. I know that the weather over there is frightful this time of year also. So hopefully everybody has clear enough ears that they can hear the show this week. But I'll tell you something else. You're in a bad location, Brian, for what you've got the sinus infection. Nobody's got sinuses worse than me. I've got the worst sinuses since Felix Unger, and I've done a lot of sinus research, and I honk and snort a lot, and etc. And the air you're living in, you're in the New York metropolitan area. And even though you're in that high price neighborhood, you can't control the influx of the air. You're living in a very dirty air environment there in the New York metropolitan area.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I think it's pretty nice up here.
Oh, no, you know, scientifically.
I'm not in Manhattan. I'm in the suburbs.
But okay, but still. And I'm saying, and plus we love the Cult of Cornette members in the New York metropolitan area. I'm not trashing your people. I don't think anybody, except maybe you, is going to make a case that the air quality in the New York metropolitan area is better than that, say, in here in Kentucky.
It depends on the part of Kentucky and it depends on the part of New York, but
you ain't far enough away from all that shit to have breathable air. It's got to be. It's giving you all cancer. You're all going to become mutants.
No, that's the big power lines. That's giving us cancer.
Well, and that, or whether it's the water or whatever you're in, just the filth. And so once again, New Yorker, we love you. Tens of thousands of people listen to the show from the New York area constantly. But just the dirt and the filth. Whenever I would go there, 3 days later, my eyes are watering. My nose is running. And here's another thing. When you do traveling like I do, when you check in a hotel, and among the other things that we've talked about, my travel methods, I will look directly into the vents of the air conditioning unit. Whether it be the under the window in wall unit or the one I'll get up on a chair if I have to and look directly in and see if there's dust clinging to any part of the in wall vent area there, or the condenser that you might be able to see through it, or the ductwork leading to the same. And then you pry the front off if you can, because then you can see how long it's been since they've changed the fucking filter. And sometimes I've had to take fucking filter and take a brush, or if it was possible to get it wet, rinse it off or whatever the fuck. They never change these things. So you don't know what kind of mold spores that you're breathing. And with the chemical plants, Brian, with the chemical plants, especially I've seen them in New Jersey off the New Jersey Turnpike, the chemical plants and the industrial plants that pour that type of thing into the waterways. You don't know what kind of mold spores that you're breathing when you're in a hotel, when you're traveling in that area. You don't know what kind of air you're breathing when you're driving by all these goddamn factories and these plants and these assembly line places that are dumping filth and pollution.
Where is that?
Well, it's all, I've seen it.
No,
it's
you're
all
talking about the Jersey Turnpike. Come on.
And then you get into the city. You get into the city and you've got the massive piles of garbage bags. You can't deny that in New York City, many of the sidewalks are devoted to massive piles of garbage bags that are piled up, because where else are these businesses going to throw their trash out, because you don't have a parking lot or a dumpster, right?
Maybe in 1986, but it's not like that today.
I would go up for Ring of Honor. Just fucking 2006 through 2012 era. Stace and I coming back from the goddamn Carnegie Deli one time. They said there was a garbage collector strike and shit was piled up everywhere. We saw a rat as big as a Tennessee house cat run toward us with bloody fangs on the street. And I went in another place. I went into a bookstore over there in the East Village, I think, that you recommended. And I was perusing the old volumes in this quaint old bookstore and saw a cockroach big enough that I could have got up on its back and fucking ridden it off.
Not the first time someone in wrestling saw a rat with bloody fangs.
Well, there you go. And then, hey, Count Drummer, then you... And then the constant the vehicles belching the fumes on the street, and you add that to the garbage, and then you add it to the fact that those buildings glommed up together like that. If there's some hygiene issue in one of them, it's going to spread quickly because they got a lot of legs, and I freak out every time I'm in just the filth, and then the microbes that you might be breathing. And if you drink the water, for heaven's sake, through pipes as old as that, in a congested area like that, with the possibility for contaminants, they freeze it into ice. You drink it in your drink. You've taken that into your body. I'm surprised you're still alive, Brian.
I have a fever, but you're making me feel like I'm Mike Von Erich after listening to all this.
You could go into toxic shock from all the chemicals and pollutants and additives and substantives and deprivatives and all the rest of the entire pharmacological fucking array and splendiferousness, as Dusty would say. The whole thing up there, the whole ball of wax, the whole Megillah. You're being poisoned from air, from water, from earth, from everywhere up there. I'm surprised there's not a plague going on. So you ought to be glad that you feel as good as you do, in my opinion.
Well, hopefully I stay alive through the remainder of this program here today.